We're going to talk about main character energy, and perhaps no one has more of that recently than Tai Lopez. This is a well-known YouTuber who was busted by the SEC because, along with his partners Alex Mayer and Maya Birkenrode, they ran a Ponzi scheme that involved raising money to buy distressed e-commerce brands and turning them into money pits, as far as I can tell. They raised hundreds of millions of dollars, and between 2020 and 2022, their holding company called REV or Rev cheated. And they got busted by the SEC, and they're in quite a lot of trouble. What's funny about this?
Allegedly, this is what the SEC alleges, is that they ran a Ponzi, just so we're super clear here.
I appreciate that. Keeping me out of trouble 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
The reason why this is somewhat humorous, even though, of course, fraud's never funny and financial crimes are bad, is because the man in question, Mr. Lopez, did things like this. Jason, I don't think I can improve on his own words. Check this out. Here's Mr. Lopez.
Here in my garage, just bought this new Lamborghini here. It's fun to drive up here in the Hollywood Hills. But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things?
I don't know. Tell me.
Knowledge.
Yeah, me too.
In fact, I'm a lot more proud of these 7 new bookshelves that I had to get installed to hold 2,000 new books that I bought.
Okay.
I don't know how to improve on that. That's like a bite size. It's the amuse-bouche of YouTube.
I'm super aware of this because when I was doing my my pilot for NBC that never got on air, and then another reality TV group wanted me to do a show. They brought up Tai Lopez in both. No, in one of them, it's come up like 2 or 3 times actually. When, you know, I've talked to CNBC about doing shows, whatever, everybody. And Tai Lopez's name would come up and they would be like, what do you think of Tai Lopez? And I was like, I'm sorry, who? And they would be like, this guy. And I was like, oh, I think he's selling courses or MLMs, you know, multi-level marketing products and all of those courses and stuff like that. I was always like, oh God, I hope I don't ever get perceived as somebody with a course, because we have Founder University and Angel University. In both cases, Founder University is free to founders as long as they show up. They can't take the seat and not show up. And then Angel University, I think we charge like $500, and all the proceeds go to charity, and we've given $200,000 to charity. Obviously, I don't need to do courses to make money, but it's always a red flag for me when a rich person with Lamborghinis and, gosh, 2,000 books and 7 bookshelves you know, needs to make money off poor people with a course. That's always like a bit of a red flag. So, yeah. And then it was always very weird, like people buying Pier 1 imports or, you know, Radio Shack, these logos. Cause I do remember when Radio Shack went up for auction, somebody was like, hey, should we buy this or whatever in one of my group chats? And I was like, what would be the plan? Because Radio Shack means something to a small niche audience of Gen Xers or older who used to use soldering irons. You know, those people are all going to be gone. Like, what would you do with it? And I brainstormed with somebody what to do with it. And the best I could come up with was like Maker. You remember that magazine and event series Maker that Tim O'Reilly had sort of done? I was like, make it into a maker space.
Yeah.
Sell all that stuff in the back, or in the front rather, and then in the back just have classes and let people bring their kids there for STEM classes and how to learn how to build circuit boards or whatever. But yeah, that's not surprisingly, I'm not surprised by any of this Tai Lopez stuff. Every time you see these people, you should just run. It's really gross.
A couple more red flags here, because the Lamborghini part of this is humorous. Yes, if someone's showing off their Lamborghini to make them seem like a person of great business acumen, what they're really showing you is their ability to pay depreciation on an asset that's not even very drivable.
That's fair too.
Also, the company, REV, was promising people a 25% annual return and a 2% preferred dividend. No, that's never going to be the case. No one's ever going to offer you that kind of guaranteed return. It's fraud. And Jason, they did use some of the money to pay back older investors. They used newer investor money for that. They stole allegedly 16.1 million for their personal use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think humans are ever going to stop falling for Ponzi schemes, but we can at least highlight them when they touch on our space. And this was a pooled investment opportunity into e-commerce, so it kind of lands in our domain. It's fraud, folks.